Apple's 2024 could be their biggest year for product launches in history, and in this video, I want to show you absolutely everything that we are going to be getting in the next 12 months. And compared to last year, Apple is starting 2024 off with a bang, as the first product Apple is set to release this year is just a month away. The Apple Vision Pro headset is set to release in early February. Apple's Vision Pro headset is their first serious foray into augmented and virtual reality, a mixed experience that they believe will ultimately replace the iPhone one day, although it'll have to be a little bit smaller than it is currently. You'll be able to work in an environment that you can just take with you by walking around. You'll be able to talk to people through FaceTime, through virtual personas, and ultimately experience movies and television shows in a way that no other Apple product could give you that experience today. Maybe the most game-changing feature here, though, is 3D spatial videos, which Apple has been promoting a ton. Members of the press saying it's emotional to essentially see these memories that you've recorded in 3 dimensions played back as if you were there again. There's really no part of the Vision Pro that isn't insane, even the price of $3,500 starting. It's an absolutely wild product, and I can't believe, again, less than 30 days we'll be swiping our cards and actually picking them up in store, wearing them for the very first time. Now, following Vision Pro and just stepping into March, Apple is not slowing down at all, as they are planning their first official event of 2024, where they will be dropping some new iPad models and a new MacBook Air likely as well. And let's start off with the MacBook first, because the new MacBook Airs, they're going to be a super similar version to what they are now. They're going to come in the same 13 and 15 inch sizes that are incredibly thin and light, but Apple will be throwing the new M3 chip series in here. They both have the base M2s now, so it's just going to be a hot swap of the chip, so it's faster and better for the people that are looking to buy them. Aside from that, though, we have not really heard any other advancements whatsoever that will be coming to these new MacBook Airs. But as for the new iPads, well, Apple has quite a bit in store, starting off with a redesigned version of the iPad Pro that hasn't been updated in some time now. Apple is planning the first updated look since we got the last redesign in 2018 that gave us that all-screen vibe, and there's even been some rumors that MagSafe could debut as part of this new design for accessories and chargers to connect to the iPad. The displays are also getting a massive upgrade, going to OLED technology for the first time versus the LCD or mini LED that we've had. OLED is going to be much greater contrast, insane colors, and of course black levels that are just unbeatable. The iPad will finally have the same screen tech as what's in the Apple Watch or the iPhone. God, the screens are going to look so good. With the iPad Pro specifically, Apple's also planning to make it more like a laptop than ever, with a redesigned Magic Keyboard on here that has a metal top case that kind of looks like a MacBook with a larger trackpad. But that's just the first new accessory, because if you're an artist, get excited for the Apple Pencil 3. Apple is planning some interchangeable tips on this, and it should be the first significant update in over 5 years. And on top of everything else, an M3 chip will be in this new iPad Pro as well. The second iPad, though, that Apple's updating at the same event likely is a new version of the iPad Air. Apple is continuing this lineup, and they're doing something super interesting with the display. For the first time ever, you'll be able to buy an all-new 12.9-inch iPad Air that you can get for sub $1,000, which Apple has never offered a screen size this large on the iPad for about $800 to $900 instead of $1,100. Now, Apple will continue to offer a 10.9-inch version of that iPad Air as well. Same LCD display, no promotion on these, and then they're throwing an M2 chip inside of the iPad Air as well. It currently has an M1 and another spec bump. The actual story of the hardware, though, it'll be pretty similar to the current iPad Airs. Now, following the spring, as is tradition for Apple, it's WWDC in June. And historically, this has been a software-only event, but in recent years, we've seen Apple sprinkle in some hardware. So it's certainly possible we could get some new Macs again this year, as we did in 2023. But at this point in time, there's no credible information say we're 100% getting hardware in the middle of the year, and especially considered how front-load heavy 2024 will be for Apple, I could see WWDC 2024 just being software, which leads us into Apple's biggest hardware launch month every single year, September 2024, when we will be getting the new iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro. But before we do that, just a quick word from today's sponsor. Now, before moving on with the rest of the video, I want to show you this Flow iPhone gimbal made by Insta360, who actually sponsored today's video. This legit feels like a product that Apple would have made because it's got a sick design, but also some crazy AI-powered tracking features. There's a magnetic clamp that easily attaches to your phone, and And when it's folded up, the gimbal is super compact, but when you're ready to shoot, it unfolds in just one step so you can record right away. There's even a built-in tripod feature for quickly setting it up somewhere, and a selfie stick ability too to capture even more. But as somebody who mostly shoots content alone, it's the AI tracking features that blew me away the most. With always-on tracking, you just draw a box around your subject and it will follow them around automatically, but also remember them even if they step behind something. You can see the gimbal waiting for me to step back out, and as soon as I do, it starts tracking again automatically. But even more impressive is the person re-identification feature, where you can specifically track just one subject. So if you go away, even if someone else different comes back before you or tries to trick the gimbal, the AI will remember only you as soon as you come back. The tracking on this thing is ridiculous, and I don't know how they made it so good. You can get the Insta360 Flow right now when you click the link down below in the description. A huge thank you to Insta360 for sponsoring this video and making such a sick product. Now, let's get back to it. For the standard iPhone 16s, the prototypes are still in relatively early testing, so Apple's looking at a new vertical camera design so that these models could support the 3D spatial video recording for Apple's Vision Pro headset. We do know quite a bit more about the Pro models, and these are going to be pretty similar to the Pro models from a year ago. While they will have a refined design of the iPhone 15 Pro, so no crazy revamp like we did in 2023, Apple is planning larger 6.3 and 6.9 inch displays on the Pro and the Pro Max for 2024, so the biggest iPhones they've ever made. And with these bigger screens, the physical bodies are getting a little bit larger, which means bigger batteries. And it sounds like from the rumors that we're hearing that battery life is going to be a bigger focus for Apple than it has been basically since the iPhone 11 Pro in 2019, which I can honestly say is the last time I have had stellar battery life on my phone. On the side of the phone below the power button, there'll be an all-new capture button that is said to be just a dedicated button for shooting video, marking the second time in 2 years that Apple is adding another new button to the iPhone. Apple's planning a larger AI focus on the 16 Pro models that will be powered by the A18 Pro chip, and we might even see some better microphones as well to help Siri understand your voice better. And of course, the cameras will also get some nice upgrades as well, with the 5x telephoto zoom lens coming down to the regular 6.3 inch size Pro, and we're even hearing that crazy 48 megapixel sensor is coming to the ultra wide lens, which Apple has not done before. And unsurprisingly, there have been rumors that these phones will get more expensive, but at this point, we have heard that rumor every single year for like a decade, and it doesn't really happen that often. So I would bet that these still start at $999 once again, at least based on what we're hearing currently. The iPhone, though, is not actually going to be the star product of this event. There's no question, no doubt on my mind, it will actually be the Apple Watch 10, a complete redesign of the product, the first time we've ever seen a truly new look since the original launch in 2015. According to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, the device will be thinner and lighter with a brand new chassis, and the band system is completely changing to be using magnets rather than a physical slide-in, slide-out slot that they've had since 2015. This is said to free up just a bit of valuable space on the inside for something like a bigger battery, as the Apple Watch battery life, I kid you not, has been the same 18 hours promised since the first one that came out. With the health features coming to the Apple Watch 10/X are really what's going to sell it, as sleep apnea monitoring, where it could tell you if you have this at night by listening to your breathing and your heart rate and how you sound. It could then give you a notification about sleep apnea and suggest you go see your doctor. Or more amazingly, blood pressure monitoring is going to be coming on the Apple Watch 10 as well, where Apple will take readings in the background, and over time they can tell you if they've noticed a high or low blood pressure, and again, recommending you go to your doctor. And on top of the iPhone 16 and the Apple Watch 10, Apple is also planning likely some new AirPods for this event, starting off with AirPods 4, which are a redesigned version of AirPods 3 that sound like they'll look a bit more like the current AirPod Pro 2s with the shorter stems and maybe button controls there. And AirPods 4 are going to have two variants, a noise-canceling version for a little bit more money and a non-noise canceling version for a little bit less money. But how it will work specifically is still a bit up in the air, as these new AirPods are said to not have silicone tips like the current AirPods Pro 2, and then why would you buy these if you can get noise canceling on AirPods Pro 2 for just a little bit more money? And it's not something that we've really seen before, so I don't know if it's going to work, but as somebody who does use and run with AirPods 3 a ton, an improved fit with a slightly tweaked design, it definitely sounds appealing. The AirPods at this event, though, that I am most excited for, they are new versions of AirPods Max, as these will have not been updated in almost 4 years by September 2024. Now, weirdly, Apple said to just be doing two things with these. First, offering some new fresh color options to try to get some more life in the line that is becoming a bit stale, and two, putting a USB-C port on AirPods Max. I kid you not, we're not hearing new chip, no new features. It's just gonna be a small update, which doesn't add up in my head, but that is what Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg has been saying. Yeah, Apple's 2024 is off the charts because then we have all the Macs to update. We really haven't seen any Mac updates at this point in the year, except for that MacBook Air in March. So now in October, Apple is planning the Mac and remaining iPad updates. I'll be honest, it's really early on, so we don't know much about these upcoming Macs, but Apple is planning to update the Mac Studio with an M3 Ultra chip, as well as an updated version of the Mac Pro. These are Apple's highest end desktops that need the best performance, so Apple's gonna put their craziest chip yet in there. It's also possible we finally see a new version of the Pro Display XDR, which has been sitting dormant, unupdated in over 4 or 5 years since 2019. And I do think it's possible that at this event, Apple also does something pretty special by reintroducing a larger iMac and bringing back the iMac Pro for the first time. And according to Mark Gurman, again, this is something Apple's actually working on. They're doing a redesigned version, similar style to the 24-inch, but likely coming in a very Pro-esque look and feel. Inside would be Apple's mid-tier chips, maybe like the M3 Max and possibly the M3 Pro as well, but you'd be getting a new 32-inch display, maybe made out of mini LED technology, the same tech that Apple currently uses in displays for the MacBook Pro. We might see a new iPad mini at this event too, but it's possible this new iPad mini could launch earlier in the year. The rumors are a bit split, but don't expect any major updates because this is a pretty low volume product for Apple. They are planning to update the display to not suffer from jelly scrolling, so the display on the iPad mini will once again look good. The cameras are also said to be improved for anybody out there that is taking photos and videos on their iPad mini, and a faster chip on the inside. Crazy year for Apple. I'm exhausted just saying all that. I don't know how we're all gonna get through this year together, but I could not be more excited. I'm so ready for everything that Apple is dropping, and I hope you are as well. And if you're not, just hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll do this thing together. Can't wait. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I still can't believe Vision Pro is coming out. Like now almost. It's going to be insane. I love you so much. Thank you guys for watching. I'm ready for 2024. Let me know what you're most excited for. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.